Welcome back, all you soapers and soapies, and welcome to the Soapery. It's Heather here. Today we are going to make a 25-pound batch of Dandelion and Violet soap. My whole entire lye solution is made from a tea I made from dandelions and violets that I picked in my backyard. So what we're gonna do first is I'm doing the heat transfer method. I'm gonna get this kind of melted down and then I'll go through the colors with you, but I want to get this going here. My lye is about 189, 190, and of course everything else is room temperature. So I'm just gonna get this in here to melt these down. I broke them up in bigger chunks, in smaller chunks, all of my hard oils so that they'll melt easier, because it's a lot to melt. So we'll just get this stirred and then I'll go through all the colors that we're going to use. So let me put this to the side. Okay, so let's get this stirring. I'm just going to use my whisk to kind of push it down and get it going. And kind of get up on the sides because some lye did splash, but that'll all get incorporated. So I did some research into looking at dandelion and violet properties on the skin. I know dandelion has natural inflammation properties in it that helps with inflammation. It also has high in salicylic acid, which is good for your skin for aging and all that. And violets have an actual astringent property, kind of an antibacterial property to them, and also I think it boosted collagen, if I remember correctly. Either that or the dandelion, one of them boosts collagen. I remember that. So I'm just going to kind of get this, keep stirring it. I got my liquid oils over here. And my liquid oils, I poured some off because I have my colloidal oats and my kaolin clay in here. I'm going to put my coconut milk in. Color-wise, I am going to pipe on the top. I'm going to try to do just little flowers, like little rosettes, yellow to look like dandelions. And I'm going to pipe some purple flowers to look like violets. And what else? Oh, and now I was going to do the white center. I'm not going to do leaves or anything like that. I don't want to go to that much piping today. I just want to get this soap done. I have taken about a month off of making actual soap. The videos are still coming, but I've taken a month off of soap because I was working on bath bombs a lot and still am. So if it looks a little congested here, I'm sorry, because I'm trying to get everything done and I just cleaned everything up quick so I had enough room to basically have room to make this batch of soap, because I brewed the tea 2 days ago. So basically what I did is I picked them, the violets and the dandelions. I put them in water, oiled it on the stove for 2 hours, and then after I did that, I let it sit, put the lid on the pot. And you can either let it sit for a couple hours and use it right away, or you can let it sit overnight and then refrigerate it. And that's what I did. So we're gonna get this pretty much emulsified here and broke these chunks down. Color wise for the violets, I'm gonna be using Northern Lights from Nurture Soap, and I'm gonna be using Love and Sunshine from Nurture Soap for the yellow, and Titanium Dioxide is from Nurture's, but that's already blended up. So let me just kind of get these chunks broken up here. It's not as bad. The more I do heat transfer, the more I do like it. It's just when you're so used to doing things another way, you know, like everything, there's a learning curve until you find the way that works for you the best. Fragrance oil wise is my own blend. I took some different, I had some violet fragrances. It smells very herbally, earthy, very nice, very clean, not anything too like patchouli like or anything like that. And those herbs, it's just very minty, dandelion-y, violet-y kind of smell. It smells very good and clean. So let me get my liquid oils in here. Let me just stir this up again, because all the good stuff went to the pot, to the bottom, which is fine. We'll just scrape that out. Get that all in here. Okay, so that's in. Now, actually, I want to clean that out a little bit because I have to reuse this for the piping. Less dishes, the better for me. Okay, now we'll get all of our olive oil in here. Pour that in. And get this scraped out. So this is actually my first video I'm making since all this darn virus stuff has come into our lives. I'm not going to get into it. I just want to say I hope everybody's okay, and you know that this is over as soon as possible. So let's get this stuff mixed up in here with my whisk. And then we'll get the stick blender in here. Get this emulsified, and we'll break it up and make some colors and slap her in the mold. Alright, so now we need just a little bit of white. See what we get with that. The yellow goes in there. The big one. So let's get our yellow in here. I want it to stay pretty yellow, so I'm going to use pretty much. And the purple. I want these a nice purple, so I'm going to use a decent amount too also. That should be plenty. Alright, so let's get the blender in here and see what we got. because my fragrance oil is pretty dark, and I don't want the soap to go very dark. I'm just gonna, you know, make sure that it doesn't turn very brown. I'm hoping that it doesn't. Like I said, this is my first time using the dandelion water. Well, the tea. The dandelion tea, I mean. Okay, this looks about where I want it at, so. Put it back. Okay, now we'll get the fragrance oil in. Most of it goes in here. Rest in here. Okay. That smells so good. Okay, so I'm going to get my mold in here. My lovely workshop mold. I love it. It is my favorite mold. I have another one coming, a smaller one, for things that I want to make, but I'm not sure if it's going to be a big seller, so I don't want to make this huge batch, so it's coming. So let's get this poured in. It smells so good. I hate to say it, but I did a pretty good job. I mean, I pat myself on my back on this one because I love the smell. I don't want to sound conceited or anything like that, but I do love this smell. Get this in here. Alright, that's good enough. Put this puppy over to the side. I just kind of want to shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. And bang, 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 bang. Kind of just take my thing in there and break up any air bubbles. There shouldn't be hardly any, I mean. Still very fluid. Okay. So we'll let this sit. My bars get cut this way. So I'm going to start getting the dandelions kind of down. It is a little fluid still, but just let me spray it down good. Everybody knows that if you watch my videos that I spray before I put on any glitter or any embellishments. Reason being is because I like to seal it in before everything, because I just think if you put anything, especially like candy pearls or anything, sometimes those colors will run with your alcohol. So I like to do it without. I let it dry really good. I mean, sometimes I'll spray it again, because yellow for me, I don't know why, is famous for ashing. Especially for me. I don't get it, but hey, whatever. So I'm just going to hit it with glitter, and that's it. Just a little. Very sparkly. The gold's going to bring out the yellow and the purple better than like if I would use silver. So I can't wait to try this soap to see how Dandelion soap feels, if it really does make a difference in irritation, redness, inflammation, all that good stuff. I'm just very anxious to see if it will help skin. So we'll see. All right, that is it. That is my Dandelion and Violet soap, and it has a lot of goodies in there: coconut, colloidal oats, tuss of silk. There's some salt and sugar in there, kaolin clay. I said the milk, and then the tea from the violet and the dandelion, and I think that's pretty much it. There's some shea butter and my base oils. So this is it. Okay, we are back to cut this. It did ash on the top pretty bad, which usually purples for me and yellows do anyway. So I hit it with my good old trusty dusty steamer, and it looks like it got pretty much of it. I mean, sometimes it comes back. Excuse me, I had to take a drink. But it should help it a little bit. So let's get this puppy cut into logs, and we'll get it cut into bars. Okay. I hope everybody's hanging in there with all this crap going on. Oh, it's excuse me. It's a disaster. I know around here in our neck of the woods, you can't go into a store without a mask, and if you do, they kick you out. I've seen a lot of people kicked out of stores in the past week. But hey, everybody has to stay safe, and a lot of people aren't taking it as serious as it is. I mean, even if you are young, like these, I think a lot of the young people think, oh, I'm, young, I have a good immune system, I'm not going to catch anything. If you feel that way, first of all, I think it's irresponsible. Second of all, don't just think about yourself, but that's the problem with today's world, I think, is everybody thinks about themselves and nobody else. But I mean, think about the people that don't have strong immune systems. And, you know, if you would get sick and, yeah, you might be able to fight it off and all that stuff. But think about the people that you could get sick if you would be a carrier of it. And they might not make it. I mean, some people, they might not care about that. They figure, well, you know, I'm going to take that risk and all that, but I'm the type of person that I do think about other people, and, you know, I wouldn't want somebody getting sick because I'm irresponsible and, you know, I'm going to basically just, you know, everybody that I come into contact with, you know, if I would have it, which I don't, thank God, that I'm just going to, you know, get them sick too because I'm sick. I'm not that type of person, but I know there's a lot of people out there that are. So, hey, it is what it is. Sorry about my dogs barking. I have people picking up eggs today because I have chickens and they're laying like crazy. It's spring, and with the egg shortage around here and all the price gouging of how much they're charging, like $6 for a dozen eggs around here, I think is ridiculous, but hey. So let's get this cut into some balls. I mean, to some logs, I should say. Let me make sure I'm cutting this right. I always have a problem with this. Yeah, we're good. So, please try not to pay attention to my dogs. They protect the house. They think everybody picking up eggs is going to come running through that door. Which, hell, you never know with today's world. Now, this did sit in the mold for a while because I haven't had time to get to a lot of business related things lately. I'm trying to get my garden in, and you know, in the springtime the chickens take more of my time, and I'm trying to get everything, so I'm sorry I haven't been sticking to what I'm saying with getting stuff uploaded to the website. With, like I said, with all this crap going on, you know, I couldn't go to a lot of my things that I go to, like mud auctions around here. The Amish have mud auctions. And I usually would go to a lot of those because that's where I would get all my vegetable starts at. Especially my tomato plants, because I grow tons of tomatoes. Number one is I love tomatoes. And number two, I can a lot. I make my own sauce. And number three, it helps my feed bill with my ducks. My ducks love tomatoes. Absolutely love them. Chickens like them too, but my ducks, oh my God. If I give them to Louie, or he even sees me bringing a tomato up from the garden or a basket, he comes running like there's no tomorrow. Like, yay, Mom has tomatoes. And then, excuse me, a lot of people in my family love tomatoes. So I make them. I grow them for them. And then I grow tons of cucumbers. That, I like cucumbers, but that's pretty much it. And my mother. Other than that, everybody else is kind of like, ugh. But again, ducks love them. And the chickens love them. And if you have chickens or ducks and you didn't know this, cucumber seeds actually in the cucumber in the middle are actually a natural antibiotic for chickens and ducks. When they eat them, it's just like oregano is a natural antibiotic, so is garlic. I always put garlic powder in my chick feed because or my layer pellets, I should say. I mix it in good because that is a natural antibiotic. Plus, too, it helps keep mites away. They don't like the smell of the garlic, so they leave the chickens alone. And tons of peppers we grow, but everybody in my family pretty much loves peppers. But me and my husband go through tons of peppers. I mean, when I go to the store weekly, I probably have to buy 10, 11 green peppers and then a couple of each colored ones because we go through so much peppers. I mean, we eat a lot of them. Plus, my dogs like green peppers too, which is funny. But my garden helps supplement my feed bill for my chickens and ducks in the spring, summer, and fall. So that is why I grow so much. I have a really big garden. I mean, it's a really good size. But I'm actually thinking about expanding it a little bit. Maybe another 20 feet, 30 feet, 20, 30 feet out maybe. I don't know. We're going to see about that. But we're planting a lot of fruit trees this year. Because chickens can eat that stuff too, but they can't eat a lot close to the pit, like stone fruit, like peaches. They can eat the peach, but they shouldn't have like the pink part around the pit. You should cut that out. Same with apples. They should not eat anything close to the center because of cyanide in the seeds and all that stuff. So that helps supplement. Plus, me and my husband eat a lot of fruit. So we put in a peach tree, a golden delicious tree, a red delicious, and we're probably going to put in another apple and another peach tree, or maybe a plum. We haven't really decided on it yet what we're going to do. But I think now this has made everybody realize that you should start growing your own food as much as you can. And if it hasn't made you think about that, maybe me bringing it up will say, hey, you know, maybe we should start doing that. But one thing of it is you do need land. Now, we have a very small farmette. I mean, we have an acre of land, but you can make a heck of a lot of good use out of an acre, I'm telling you. We have small acreage on the front, small land on the front, but a lot in the back. And that's kind of what you want when you're looking for a house. And you want to grow stuff or have animals, you want to look for that. A lot of land in the back. And get as straight as you can, as level as you can. Our land isn't that level, but it's not bad either, to the point where it's like a steep incline. A part of my property has a pretty decent sized hill, but guys, slow down. It's Stop running in the hall. Sorry about that. They love to run back and forth in the hall. Okay, so let's get these cut into bars. But first, I don't think I need to take any off the back because I'm just going to plane it. So what we'll do is lay these down. I can't wait till I get a new cutter. But here is bar number 1. It's very plain, very natural soap. Smells very, very wonderful. If you like very herby, smelling, kind of like floral dandelion smell, this is right up your alley. I mean, it smells really good. Really, really good. I like how when I made those little pipe drops with the purple and white, I really like how they came out. So, this time, I mean, the soap isn't much to see. I mean, it has all of my goodies in it. And I really like how the coloring came out with the dandelion tea. Well, dandelion and violet tea it was. I mean, it smells so good. So clean. It's not like like a detergent clean, like a Clorox clean, or like whatever, Lysol clean, whatever kind of cleaner you use. It's not clean like that to where it's like, oh, it's like too much. It's very just good and fresh and earthy, and it's wonderful. This, I can't wait to see how the dandelion and violet tea properties feel on the skin. That's really pretty there. Very pretty. And I love how steam soaps look on the top. I absolutely love it. It looks like you just made it. But I don't know if I'm gonna start talking about some things that have been going around here. I mean, if you're not interested, you can always fast forward to the end. But getting back to like growing your own food and the virus and all that crap. You know, I mean, if you're gonna be looking for a house soon and all that, you know, definitely think about getting a house that has some land so you can start being self-sufficient, because like I said, this has opened a lot of people's eyes, I think, of especially with the store shelves, you know, being pretty empty and all that, you know, like you can't find, I mean, yeah, you can't grow toilet paper and paper towels and all that crap, but there's a lot of things that a lot of people would never think would be in shortage because people were just stocking up on them. Like eggs. I mean, if you have chickens, think about this. Okay, so you go to the store, you buy your eggs, okay? Those eggs are pretty much already 2 to 3 weeks old from being laid. I mean, they get pasteurized and all this stuff, you know, for them to last, I think, what is it, like usually a month or whatever sometimes with eggs will last. But if you have fresh eggs that are laid daily, and you have chickens, like again, I think I have 28 chickens now because one had passed away over the winter. I had 29. Those eggs, number one, they're now going to be pasteurized. You can control what's in them because what you feed them is the amount of protein that's going to be in them. You can control whether they're organic, non-organic, all that stuff. So, number one, that's healthier for you. And number two, fresh eggs last at least a month and a half with you not even having to put them in the refrigerator. Now, I wouldn't suggest that in the dead of summer or the dead of winter because you don't want them to freeze and you don't want them to go bad. But there is a way to tell if your eggs have gone bad, which I have had eggs for a month and a half for my own personal use. Now, these were in the refrigerator, and they're still completely fine. Some people say they can be up to 3 months, but there's a trick. If you take your egg and you put it in a glass of water, or take a glass of water, fill it up. If the egg sinks to the bottom and lays there, that's a fresh egg, a good egg. As the egg starts to float up, like do that 1 week, the next week it'll be on the bottom, but the pointy end might start tilting up. The week after that, it might just be trying to touch the bottom. As it gets older, the egg, the more it starts to float to the top. So I've had, eggs that were in the refrigerator probably at least 2 months, and they were still touching the bottom almost. So that means they're good. Now, if they completely float, toss them. But that's a trick that I've learned of how to tell if you have fresh eggs. You can do it with the store eggs too. I mean, pretty much they're not going to be touching the bottom, and they're pasteurized. So they're not going to be as fresh as an egg that was just laid this morning. So, I mean, think about that. I mean, right there, and plus with all the price gouging going on with eggs and all that, and growing your own meat, you can raise chickens for your meat if you want. I don't do that, but hey, to each his own. I wish I could do that, but I can't bring myself to kill the darn chickens. So maybe one day, or if I had to, like I said to my husband, if for some reason, we couldn't get meat anymore at the store, which look at how much meat, I mean, they would limit how much you could buy a day, especially around here. We could only get 2 packs a day. And if the places get the virus like that Smithfield plant did, I mean, you can grow or raise your own chickens, your own pigs. Pigs actually aren't a lot of work as everybody thinks they are. But again, I would get attached to it and can't kill it. But there's a lot of things to think about in that. If you could have the land to do those things, which I could grow pigs if I wanted to, but I know I would get attached to it, and I know I couldn't kill it. So, I mean, and ducks, you can grow ducks for food. I mean, you can grow pretty much, I keep saying grow, raise anything that you need for meat. I mean, I even know people that stock their ponds for fish. And if you get hungry, go out to your pond and catch some. So it's a lot to think about. But I would definitely start with a garden if you don't already garden. And start growing your produce. Because a lot of produce around here, I mean, it was hard for me to get lettuce. And my ducks love romaine. And that's like their treat. And when you just think about everything that went into short supply and what you could have done to have that. And if you're thinking of moving, I mean, think about getting a place with some land and that you can raise animals on your property, whether it's just for eggs or like a byproduct, or a cow for the milk, and you know, you can make cheese and yogurt and all that good stuff out of it, or goats. A lot of people around here have goats. The farmer in back of me, he has a whole bunch of sheep. So I mean, there's tons of things that you can do in the future that you don't need to rely on the store. So I mean, if anybody's thinking of moving, you know, sooner like that, I mean, and you have the time, I know it's, for a lot of people say, well, farming takes a lot of time. It does. It does. And this is a business for me. And what's hard is, you know, I try to do this and I try to do as much as I can for me and my husband and my animals. You know, it's just sometimes that takes, you know, time away from this and vice versa. But like this whole week, why this sat so long is we were tilling and I'm getting the beds ready and putting the weed fabric down for my broccoli and cabbage and all that, and my tomato plants. I'm getting them tomorrow. I'm chancing of going to a farmer's market tomorrow with my gloves and my mask and all that stuff on to get my tomato plants, because I need to get them in the ground soon here. But first I have to go buy them. So, I mean, just think about it. I mean, definitely, and it's not hard. It's not with YouTube. I mean, if you're watching me and you learn how to make soap, or, you know, you just like watching it. I mean, there's tons of people, which I'm going to start making some of those videos too, of gardening, because I've been gardening since I was little. I've always had a garden, even when we lived in the city and had, God, probably 10-foot wide by maybe 15-foot long yard in the city. I grew as much as I could in that thing. So, I mean, just think about it. I mean, it gets crazy out there now how, you know, you don't know what people have anymore, or how they get it, or anything like that. I mean, there's a lot of different views out there where this virus came from, whether it really did come from China or whether the government created it to control the population. I mean, there's a lot of different views out there. So, I mean, just think about that. But yeah, I mean, if you guys have to work and you and your husband work, and I'm fortunate to where I don't have to have a job outside of the house, the home, I should say. So I pretty much, you know, can do what I want. But I tell you one thing, time goes so fast nowadays, and sometimes I don't even know where the time goes. And my grandmother always used to say to me when I was young, because I always, oh, I just wish I'd hurry up and grow up. This so sucks being a kid and all that. Man, I wish I could turn back that clock. And it's just like when you're a kid, first of all, you just want to be 13. Then you just want to be 16 because you can drive. Then 18 because you're an adult and you can vote. Then 21 so you can drink. But, you know, you've already been drinking for God knows how long. Because most kids do drink young. And once it becomes legal, isn't it funny how it's not fun to drink anymore? Once it's legal. I mean, I still drink. I still think it's fun, but it's always more fun when you're doing something that's against the law. I guess you'd want to say. But who doesn't do me? Who hasn't done that? I mean, if you haven't, more power to you. But when you're a kid and you're growing up, you do things that were stupid. But hey, it's how you learn. That's how we learned, at least. Kids nowadays, they just do stuff and then they don't learn the lesson from it. You know, and that's the problem with kids nowadays, is they don't understand a lot of things because, number one, they either weren't taught, or it's just, you know, they were hanging out with the wrong crowd or whatnot. But hey, you live and you learn, right? So anyway, back to, but my grandmother used to say, Heather, when you get older, time will fly. And I always used to say, yeah, right. Because when you're young and you're sitting in school, it seems like 3 o'clock takes forever to get there. And heck, I get up every day at 6 o'clock and it seems like an hour goes by and it's 3 o'clock. My husband's coming home from work. I mean, it just flies. So, I mean, and plus, if you especially work from home, or you're a housewife, or, you know, whatever you do, you really understand what I'm talking about, because, I mean, the time just flies, especially if you're always home. And so I didn't have to get used to that for this quarantine, because I'm already used to being home, so that wasn't a big deal. But and I always cooked a lot, so one thing I can't wait to do is go back out to a restaurant. Even though I always cook and stuff like that, it was nice having that. I mean, we probably would go out once every week, maybe once every week and a half, at least, to a place to give me a break. And because when I cook, it's just not throwing something in the oven. I, you know, cut a lot of stuff up. I make decent sized meals, you know, I mean, for, decent size as there's a lot of ingredients in it, because it's only me and my husband. And I lost a lot of weight, and I don't have the appetite that I used to because of my pills that I take. And my husband has lost 60 pounds almost, so we have, we don't make a lot of food at all. It's just a lot of ingredients going in that food. So, here is Dandelion and Violet. So, all natural soap, except for the Micas that was put in it. But this part is all natural soap. I hope you like it. I hope you buy a bar and try it out. You will love the smell. I mean, it's just so clean, so fresh. So it's invigorating almost. Like it would wake you up in the morning. So, please give my video a thumbs up. It really helps me out. Again, like, share, subscribe. It really helps me out and everything. All the things that I use will be down in the description box. Again, if you want any of the colors, go to my Nurture Soap affiliate link down in the description box and click on it. It'll take you to the colors that I used. plus their site so that you can get any color that you want. I mean, micas can be used for a lot of different things. It tells you soap, bath bombs, makeup. Nurtures has it all listed there and what you can and cannot use it for. So again, thanks for joining me. Like, share, subscribe, give me that thumbs up, and I'll see you for the next batch.